make sure of and be cognizant of always, doesn't matter, and this goes back to the drying, is we don't want, for some reason, if things starts acting up, you have a drain hose, just like you do on your Statum when it goes to the bottle. We don't want that hose to get pinched or bent. And that could happen, you wouldn't really understand what's happening at first. It's not releasing itself, so again, it's fine the way it is. It's just, but just keep cognizant of that. Couple cool, so I don't need to go into the cycles of this. You guys know what all the cycles are and that type of thing. Oh, wait a minute, no. There was a question about plastics.
Yeah, so, like the wrap cycle with the closed scissors is stuff that we have in bags.
Right, that's what we use.
But then if we need to sterilize nitrile gloves, you said they can't be wrapped in a bag, that they
Correct.
just need to go in there on that plastic setting.
Oh, wow.
Which would be typically the only thing you're sterilizing is your Hugh Freedy
It's just the
purple
green.
ones.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Utility gloves. There we go.
Yeah.
Just the green
I
setting.
think part of me would say, because again, it is classified as sterilizable. It's interesting. This plastic cycle, in my mind, is for something that would be typically not reused. People, again, something that's used once and thrown away, but some people still, it used to be that you didn't have that, some people, you always had plastics that were, they still wanted to sterilize, but really weren't. So it's a much lower, it's like barbecue, it's slow and low. It's just a lower temperature, but a longer time.
Like
But
XCPs and Profi
strictly for the
rings,
utility gloves, you
plastic
can only do it
Profi
I think
rings.
maybe 5 times anyway, so I'm thinking we're just,
Yeah.
you'll do it in the green cycle for that. And it's just an unwrapped cycle, it's not, because it's slow and low, it's not gonna do a great job of drying all that mass in there.
Cause it's basically just to kind of get them like a really good clean. Cause I never considered them clean or even sterile. It's
Yeah.
just mainly to like, they haven't really been,
It is
they're
an-
really dirty, so let me run them in here a little
Yeah.
bit, and then they come out, so it's okay if they're not bagged, cause they're just for cleaning and disinfecting and doing stuff in here.
Yeah. Which, because I mean, even when they're stored, most of the time, it's not gonna be.
Yeah, they
Right.
just clean and disinfect them, and then they
Yeah.
store them
Yeah.
to dry.
Closed.
So, okay with that?
Mhm.
Just put them in there,
In there.
not bagged.
Good, that was on there.
Like the Steve
Next
Allen
yesterday.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause they all.
It was time.
Yeah.
Time to do that.
So,
And you would recommend doing them in the Statum versus the Stat Clave, or does it, you
Well-
would?
Well, how many pairs can you get in the Statum?
yeah, no, that'd be the only, I mean, it would, you can definitely do it in either one, both
Okay,
applicable to the
with
same.
the
2 pairs
plastic
yeah.
setting, that glove setting.
The reason
still
why I like that
unbagged.
idea is because it's bigger area, and again, it's,
There's a
that's a
bag.
lot of.
And that's for RCPs, right?
Cause then you could use these here, and you could get at least 4, right? Can we
Yeah.
use that,
Um,
those trays?
yeah, absolutely.
You can get
I
more
don't know if I
in
get
the-
4 in there though. I don't know.
Oh,
I get it wouldn't matter because it's
2
the,
sets, I see, yeah,
You'd have to put one on each.
one on each one,
Right.
yeah.
well, but again, you could do 4. You could because again, we're not.
I mean, yeah, it's
Yeah.
not like I'm gonna go put it in somebody's mouth.
Right. Hopefully not.
I mean, you'd be surprised.
I mean, it'd be hard to get in there with those big gloves on there.
Never
So
said
that's
that.
true, I mean, cause it doesn't technically matter. Okay,
Um,
but we'll use that setting in either
yeah.
unbagged, wrap, whatever we wanna call it, okay.
Okay, cool thing about this one too, I wanted to make sure that this was clear on everybody's radar. Same stuff applies as far as what we talked about there, as far as internet connectability. You got your USB, so if you push that, again, it's showing you the same information that we did on that one. But what's cool about this one is, I like this water quality button here. If you've ever experienced bad water in a Statum, a lot of times it just says, bad water, don't run me. And then I always get the call where we just put it's a brand new bottle and it's saying we have bad water. Sometimes you get bad water, sometimes you just buy a bad batch. But this will at least give us an indication of what that problem is. So by pushing that, you can see what parts per million. This thing will not function over 6 ppms, 6.0 ppms. Typical filtered water is 0.1 or 2 or 3 or something like that. It's usually a decimal number when it's distilled level. So once it starts getting up into the, how are we doing this? We're gonna fill this up with these.
Yeah,
right?
we have that.
Yeah. So this is your filter system.
Mhm.
And here, let's just do it real quick. It doesn't have any water in it though.
You know, because the X on the water was, yeah, because on that initial screen, it's
Yeah, yeah.
X'd out, yeah, so the water.
And then this is just to keep stuff from going down in there, so you don't have to have this to do this. You can just pull it out. Where is the sheet off on that? Another interesting thing. Okay, let's talk about this. I was really, they did an amazing job. Everybody involved in installing this system. It's pretty intense. Over here is where your filtration is. So these are your filters. So this is what's making the water for these guys, making your basically your 0 parts per million water. It's made over here. It goes under in a pipe all the way under here, and then pops back up over here. So that's feeding this, and that's why I was looking over here just so you guys know what I'm doing. I'm trying to look if there's a shut off or something that doesn't let this go, but and it comes up through here. I'm wasting your time.
You're fine.
I'll worry about that later. How about that? Because I don't want to waste your time. Anyway, that's what's happening. Just so you know. I'll mess with that afterwards. But back to the whole reason I brought that up. 6 ppms or higher, it's going to shut down. This as well. Actually, they're both. I think this one's 5 and this one's 6. But long story short, once the numbers start getting up into whole numbers, and I like to say 4 ppms at that point, it's time to start thinking about changing your filters. Both of them have a water sensor, and I'll talk to how this one works as well. But just know, again, periodically, if you want to, hit the button, look what the ppms are. Once it starts hitting 4, knowing that once it hits 6, it's going to shut down, we need to start talking about changing out some filters. So, another thing, if you've got an older Statim you're familiar with, they redid the armature in the back. So there's 2 probes that go into the back of the cassette that regulate the temperature and or steam and stuff, and the air and moisture pull back out of in these little holes. What happens is the old one, it had a pin that would come out, and if you caught it just right, it could bend it. And if that happened, then it was catastrophic. Had to go back to the manufacturer, and we had to refix it, get it. What's it called? Calibrate it. Had to calibrate it. So that's why it had to go back. But now they redid that. So the reason why I say all that is when you put the cassette in, there's a sweet spot. I gotta find it. Right there. So it clicked, right? So you think it's in there. The problem is, you still got that much more. So you wanna make sure you put the cassette all the way in. Don't slam it, but still push it in. You'll hear the click and go a little bit further. At that point where it clicked, it's engaged, and unfortunately it's not engaged enough, so steam starts going in, and then it starts leaking out internally here, and it makes a big mess. So just know that.
There's bleeding out.
It's good. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been there.
Another thing to know that I think is helpful is there's a place right about here where typically this is where you're going to start seeing a little leak, and it drips out there, and that's where a lot of times if you start seeing puddling here, it's coming out of here. What's happening is either it's time for a new seal on your cassette. That's the biggest indicator. When you see a little bit of steam coming here or drips from there, obviously if you're doing it every 6 months, you shouldn't be seeing that. But in the event that you forget about it and it goes a little bit longer, you're going to start seeing a drip there. And that's what's happening is it's leaking outside of this cassette inside of the place where the cassette goes into, and it needs a place to go out, and that's the drip hole right there. So just for future reference. This one will prompt you as well every 6 months to change the seal on the filters like you're doing. Do you know how to change the seal? You done
I
it?
have changed it.
You know how to do it good? Okay.
I won't say good.
That was a tough one.
The first time I ever did it, I struggled. I thought I was gonna throw it out the window.
Didn't seem like it even fits, right? You
Yeah.
put the corners and it's
Oh
got
my
these loops
gosh,
and stuff in
yes.
it.
That's
I will
great.
say this, and I don't know if it's, because I don't see this in any literature or anything, but once you have the seal in, if you'll take your pinky and put it, you already know what I'm talking about? I know, because if you take it in between the two lips of the
Yeah.
seal and just run it all the
Uh-huh.
way around, make sure. If you
Right.
don't, it'll leak again.
I have learned to do
Okay,
that.
perfect. That was just in case. Any other questions? We good here? You wanna know anything else?
It said at the end of each day, run a full cycle with the full air drying phase, I'm guessing empty. Is that something that needs to be done daily maintenance?
So they make this, and also at some point it says to drain it out too, doesn't it?
I didn't
That's
catch
for the
that
night-
part.
That's for the night shift.
Oh, no, and it's not, it's made, we also play in a couple of different arenas, so they put the same length for everybody. The draining in that extra cycle, not necessary. I say, because there's somewhere I thought it said you have to drain it out, and then again, the concern is some places only use it once a week, once a
Yeah,
month, something like
okay.
that, and you don't want the water to get stagnant in there, so.
Okay, so we don't have to do an empty cycle at the end.
No.
When did you say about the jet dry? Would that be daily or just weekly?
No, I mean the status.
Yeah, it helps. I'm kidding. I have to sign something here.
That was your pastor who said that.